Welcome to the Healthy Happy Hour podcast with your hosts, Victoria McCullough and Leandra Jackson, your go-to girlfriends for all things fitness, nutrition, and natural wellness. They believe that getting older doesn't mean slowing down. It means getting stronger, healthier, and more vibrant. Each week, they'll share practical tips, real conversations, and simple habits to help you feel your best inside and out. From workouts that fit your lifestyle, to nourishing your body with wholesome foods, to discovering the power of essential oils and natural doTERRA products. They're here to help you age with energy, confidence, and joy. Grab your favorite healthy drink, pull up a chair, and toast to living well and thriving through every season of life together.
Hi. Hello.
Good morning, and welcome to our November Healthy Happy Hour with Victoria McCullough with First Rep Coaching and
Leandra Jackson with Leandra's Integrative Wellness.
And she's getting it right.
Yes, I rebranded, so my other names on the other podcasts, it's still me.
Same person, different name.
Yes, encompassing everything.
So, welcome to this monthly podcast that we're doing to help you to survive every month, right? To get through the month, something new. You know, we talk a little bit maybe about what, you're going to hear some stuff that's going to be repeated because we always need to be reset, right? There's always those times that we need to be reset. But right now we're going into that time of the year with everything going on. There's a lot of emotions running high with, what's going on in the government. Then we have the holidays coming up and it's going to be stressful. So stress goes up, energy goes down. So we want to be here to help you to learn how to balance it out and manage it. You're never going to get rid of stress.
Right.
But you can learn to manage it so that your body doesn't react.
And we want to stay healthy and centered through the holiday season with gratitude. And with that gratitude, not every day may be good, but there's good in every day. So
love that. Yeah. I always say, there's always blessings in every day. There's something. It can't be you wake up and everything's bad all day long. When you first wake up, you should wake up a little bit more energized and more, ready for the day. But if you're thinking about what happened yesterday, that might not be the case. Maybe it was a bad day yesterday. So in the morning's a great time to reset and refocus. Yeah. Really, maybe journal a little bit. Talk about, what's going right. I always tell clients, okay, so before we get going, let's talk about what's going good. Because we can spend hours talking about all the negative stuff because it's easy and it just breeds on, it just keeps breeding on that. So we want to find what are the good things, what are the positive things, what can we look forward? We woke up. That's another one. We wake up, we're breathing, and if we're not feeling good, what can we do to feel better?
Exactly.
So we're here to help you stay healthy through the holidays.
And find that gratitude.
Find the gratitude to have good energy and to learn to manage the stress. So we're going to talk a little bit about
that gratitude, though, I would just want to share a little a little story on that. And when I was in the military and I was deployed to Iraq, I found a really amazing place of gratitude because I want to really point out that in the hard times, in the stressful times of our life, that is really an important time to find the gratitude that we need to harness and pull us through those times. And when I was able to go to chapel when I was deployed, because I was a truck driver, I was on the road all the time, and to find that gratitude of safe missions and, family back home and people that cared about me and all this. And that carried me through. So just, it is a hard time right now in the season for a lot of people. And if you can find even that little small grain of gratitude that you can carry you through, just hang on to it and it will continue to grow. The more you're grateful every day, the more your gratitude will grow, the happier you will be, the less stress your body will have to go through, and the more healthy you're going to be. Exactly.
Because you can't always control everything around you. I always say control what you can and try to remove and release things that you can. Because we could sit there and even, with everything going on now, I'm going well, I can't do anything in Washington. I can't do, there's nothing I can do, but what can I do here in my life?
Right.
What can I do here to help my family to keep going, to, if it, things aren't affecting you personally, then, you can kind of let that go and then figure out what's going on in your life. What can we do to survive the holiday? Thanksgiving's coming up in a couple of weeks, and I know it's going to be a hard time for a lot of people, but there's a lot of people out there that are doing great things and helping. And it's been really great listening to the radio on all the people that are stepping up. I know here, if you go to Sandy's, the cool thing is my daughter works over at Sandy's. Yeah, my daughter works at Sandy's, and they're giving away, and they do this all the time. Like, they literally have somebody who kind of lives outside of there, lives near there or outside of there. He helps. So they just, they're willing to help him. But right now, when there was the fires, they were feeding all the first responders. They could come in and they can have a meal. Right now, they're giving meals for kids.
Yeah,
it's free
all the kids
for kids.
Are eating.
They get to eat for free
because of the government shutdown.
Yeah, with the government shutdown, families can eat for free if they can. They just have to kind of, I guess, show. I don't know what it is, but
I
they have
think
to
it's
show
food
some
stamps.
show proof that they need that, because they don't want people taking advantage. We don't need to take advantage of something that's already really a mess for a lot of people. So you find places that are doing this. You can find places that are giving out, especially for kids, free meals.
The school districts.
Yeah, the school district. Oh, the chicken salad lady. A chicken salad chick. I love that place. Free meals for kids there too.
That's awesome.
And that's all, there's several of those. So you've got to, we've got to go looking that there are people out there that are helping. There, even if you can help.
Or just volunteer and surround yourself with those people instead of, being
just
your
on
dark
social media
room, where it's easy to get into that hole and not get yourself out of it. And, we want to bring ourselves out of those dark holes and surround ourselves with the people that mean something and are doing things meaningful and not trauma bonding.
Yeah. One of the things I notice is that social media if you can do a, social media detox, limit the amount of time, because that's what's really riling up people and causing a lot of stress. And you see that in people. They're just getting angry at people's comments and getting angry here. And then there's people out there saying things just to draw that kind of attention. And it's just, they want reactions. So what we need to do is try to limit that. And Jeff, were just talking about that the other day, as how, you just kind of went on with life before social media.
Right.
And if you were in communities, you participated in, church groups and community groups and friend groups, and you did that because you just didn't go on social media and say, hey, everybody meet here. You don't even know who you're meeting. People are just getting together that don't know each other. But find the people that you are close to, your neighbors. Have maybe for Thanksgiving, have a potluck with your neighborhood. Do something where things that makes you feel good. Those
step
things
out
are
of your
going
comfort
to
zone and just go somewhere.
Do something.
Meet new people.
Yeah. There's a lot of needs out there. So when you kind of feel down in the rut, sometimes it's best to go out and go help people that could
reach out to us. We would love to chat with you and just, know your story and help to understand more of who you are and, any ways that we might be able to help support you.
Yeah. We're always happy to encourage. In my classes in the mornings on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'm always happy to have people come in and try the class. You can try it for free. You can come in, I'm pretty good about, it's like my rates are not that high. So, I'm willing to work with people, because for me, I've had friends in the past who have hit hard times, and I was like, what? I cared more about that weren't going to be able to come because they couldn't pay it. Right. But I care more about people and their health. And it was just like, it's only going to be a short amount of time. I'd let them come, and
that's why we do the online stuff too, like on our YouTube channels. We have the exercise things on our YouTube channels that people can do. Exactly. And
we have free.
And with that stress comes poor gut health too, because the more cortisol our body's going through, the more stress we have to deal with. We may eat too much. We may not eat enough. And when we are under a lot of stress, you might want to go for the gallon of ice cream instead of the healthy smoothie.
It just tastes better. It doesn't feel better later.
Yeah, it's just going to make you feel worse.
It always makes you feel better.
The heavier foods aren't, it's colder comfort foods, but try to make it a little bit more healthy. Add some, like if you love the chili during the wintertime, great. Maybe add zucchini to it. Maybe add something that's going to give you a little bit healthy boost to it.
Yeah, you can add vegetables. Or you know what I love is it's the rice, the wild rice. Like chicken wild rice, soups and stuff. I love those. I love, make, homemade noodle, vegetable soup. Make that
are really good.
Yeah, there's a lot of, now is the comfort food time. but you can also make them healthy. You can also have healthier ones.
It doesn't have to be just cornbread and tomato sauce.
Because even like the clam chowders, thicker soups, those are going to be heavier on your body.
Right.
And they usually do come with higher calories, and they can be, not so great on your gut. So you've got to look at, a lot of times I take recipes and I just look at each recipe, each ingredient and go, well, what would be an alternative to it that's a little bit healthier, For me, like if you're having chili, a lot of people like putting sour cream on it, and I put Greek yogurt on it because that's going to be higher in protein, and then you can add veggies to it, more veggies. Cheese is okay, but it's not like pile it on, harder cheeses. The better cheeses, a lot of people like to buy already the pre-shredded, but the pre-shredded is always not that healthy because they have to put a coating on it to make it last, where I prefer to just shred it. It might take a little longer, but I get the, like the Tillamook, and I just shred a whole bunch of it.
And if you shred a big old brick, you can freeze.
You can, so it's a lot healthier for you. And so shredding it yourself is better than buying it. Once in a while we'll buy a bag because, Jeff will want to like hurry up and need it. Yeah. And we have to run to the store and grab some. But
add your fermented foods as often as you can.
Yeah.
So if you can handle it, like kimchi, sauerkraut,
I'm
kefir.
not a big fan of that. I can't do fermented
sauerkraut when it comes to like roasts and things, or like putting it on sandwiches of like beef or whatever. So that's always nice. But if you can do the fermented foods, then add those in as often as you can. Or just get a really good probiotic. Pickles, a lot of sodium, but
a lot of salt.
If you don't like fermented foods and you need a good probiotic, let me know, because doTERRA has an amazing probiotic, and it's the best one I've ever tried, and I've tried a lot.
I mean, if you're not into, there's alternatives with supplements, and that's what supplements are for, to supplement what you are unable to get from our foods. Right. Or prefer not to get from those foods.
And then the eating mindfully is important too, because like you want to grab that ice cream, or you want to you're in a rush and you just eating really fast. But the more mindful that you can be about what you're eating, how you're feeling while you're eating, like, are you depressed? Are you happy? Are you alone? Who are you with? Yeah. What's the activity you're doing?
While they're eating in the car, it's like the worst thing you can do, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's like, because you're really not paying attention. So your body's not really digesting it well.
Yeah, you're not really in that rest and relaxation stage. You're more in the fight or flight. Yeah. And then your body doesn't digest.
It won't digest, and you will feel it later. So for people who deal with like a lot of acid reflux or just heavy guts, it's because when you're in that fight or flight and you're not calm and relaxed, and they're saying you have to meditate before you eat. You just need to
just be mindful.
Be mindful. Clump of food just sitting in your belly.
Yeah, well, I've always heard the term or used the term, it feels like a rock in your stomach.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, you might need to think about more mindful eating.
Yeah. So if you ever get that feeling, you think about what you were doing when you were eating that previous meal. So the other thing is when it comes along with stress is the number one reason for people going to the doctors. We are heading into cold and flu season, when the cold is bringing in more of the illnesses. But what also is that we're stressed. So stress is decreasing our immune system. So now we're that is what's causing it. So stress is usually the number one reason people go to the doctor. Colds, flus, and a lot of those are actually not just always contagions, but there's something that we cause our bodies to, because our bodies
feel bad.
Yeah, because our immune systems are shutting, are less. So if we do go around somebody who is sick, the chances are a lot higher that you are going to get sick. Right. So the thing you can do is boost that immune system. doTERRA has a lot of immune boosting products, and then we also have something called, to help you to relax and to help with the gut, is a golden tea. And if you've ever heard of that, you might have seen people drinking. It's so good. And some people, turmeric is I think somewhat of an acquired taste for people. I like adding it into things, but you have to know how to add it, because if you just straight up, and I've done this, and it works, but it's not pleasant. So turmeric, if you've ever used turmeric in anything, it can taste really good if you have it with the right mixes of spices.
Curries and things.
Yeah, with the right mixes. If you try to have turmeric alone, you're probably going to get it. It is a very strong flavor. It has a lot of flavor and very strong. One thing you can do if you ever have like a gassy stomach or bloating is take a tablespoon of turmeric and you put it in warm water, and that's where you probably want it. I did it before I realized, I could add a little bit of honey or something in it. I don't like what we're going to talk about in the golden tea, but then you chug it, and you can almost feel everything it really helps with that, but it's not that best. It's not that great taste because it's straight up turmeric. But there are
people
pills.
Drink just like straight up like baking soda water.
Yeah, baking
soda.
So
I would rather drink turmeric versus baking soda.
I've done that one too. I've always tested stuff. So the golden tea, the nice thing about the golden tea is it's yummy. It's actually, you're basically taking some almond or some coconut milk,
whatever milk you want.
Whatever milk you want. Milk, mixing some turmeric. We'll actually probably put the recipe on the end.
Post it.
Turmeric, you put a little bit of black pepper, some honey or maple syrup, and half a teaspoon of cinnamon, and a little bit of ground ginger. And you mix all that up, you warm it up, you make it like a warm tea, and it's delicious.
Yeah, warm it in a pot on the stove, not in the microwave.
Yeah, don't do that.
Get your milk warm, then add all your spices, and then you can do honey. But if you have high glycemic issues, then you can do maple syrup, which is less sugar content.
Because it's sweet. It's still sweet, but
as long
there
as
is
it's
a
pure
difference.
maple syrup.
It's pure. Yeah, don't go getting, you can get a little bit more
when
you're trying to wind down for bed. It's
and
really
anti-inflammatory. So
and it's
really good for the joints.
Yeah. So that is, if anybody has any of their favorite, maybe they have some, like teas that they like to have.
Yeah, something warm for the season. Let us know if it's a healthy option. And if you're not the type to if you just cannot deal with turmeric, or if you're not getting the benefits that you want from the turmeric, then doTERRA has a great supplement and the essential oil, which can be put on topically to help with your joint pain, arthritis. It's also a warming oil, so it's a great oil to have.
See, I'm going to have to get that one because I deal with like my wrists. I was talking about like my wrists this morning were driving me nuts because I'm starting to get some little bit of arthritis in my wrist. And she brought that up. I was like, this is perfect because I actually use is it curcumin?
Cumin,
the hot stuff. So I had some stuff that I actually had, and I was wondering why my lips were like feeling a little bit warm this morning because I actually have some that we had left over from my mother. It's from the store. You can buy it at the store, but it's actually for arthritis, so it has the curcumin in it, which is really good for that. It's good for it's an anti-inflammatory. It's great. It's great for boosting your immune system too.
Yeah,
but you have to be careful because I had to rub it on my ankles and on my wrists, and I washed it. But it's almost like it still kind of gets in your skin. So I had touched my face and I felt my face like burning. Please do not rub your eyes. It's almost like I need to put gloves on to use that stuff.
Well, if you have anything like that gets into a sensitive area, don't use water. Use oil, like avocado
there you go.
oil
That
or
was
body
my
oil.
problem. I was like, I just wash my hands really quick with some soap and water.
That'll neutralize
I
the
learn new
spiciness.
things too.
Yeah, for sure. We all do.
We always do. But anyway, so that is another one that, so having something like that, I think would be much better.
Yes.
So I'm going to have to order that one too.
And another thing that you can use to help with digestion during this time, or any time really, is doTERRA has a really great Digescent oil. You can put it on topically. You can take it internally. It's good for when you're having those heavy meals, especially during this time when we're going to have a big Thanksgiving meal, or people will go to like several different Thanksgiving time, meals, and we want to make sure that we're supporting our digestive system.
Yeah.
So lemon essential oil and warm water is also very good because it helps support digestion and detoxification.
I have lemon in here. Every morning I put like a half a square, and I found some seedless lemons at King Super the other day, which was great. But I do have one of those Pampered Chef, things but still some seeds get in there sometimes. So Meyer lemons are amazing. Meyer lemons, I can't find them. They're really hard to find.
I have a Meyer lemon tree, but I'm hoping. Really? I mean, no lemons yet. I just got it this year, so we're hoping that we can get some.
Well, if she gets it, I'm buying the tree because they're so good. And I was finding them, and they weren't that expensive. There was a bag of them, and when you put it, it's like having lemonade because they're sweeter. They're a little bit sweeter. But
it's seasonal. Citrus is seasonal.
Yeah, you're right. We just read that. So those would be great, but that's a great way in the morning to put some lemon water, maybe warm lemon water. Mine's cold, but if you want to have like something warm, but it's going to help with the digestive juices. It's going to, if you deal with, acid reflux or any kind of digestive issues, don't take Tums, don't take antacids. Those are like one of the worst things you could take.
And if you're
people will pop them like
Yeah.
candy.
If you're going to
And
use
that's
essential
horrible.
oils, use the doTERRA ones. It'll have supplement facts on the bottle to tell you that you can take it in.
So moving on to our fitness. So during this time, another thing that's going to help you with stress and keeping off that extra weight during this time, because that's probably another big they worry about people, is gaining weight through the holidays. I've had numerous people that really don't even want to start anything over the holidays because they're like, well, I'm going to put, why are you, they're accepting it.
Yeah.
They're just accepting that we're just going to put weight on. No, how about you start now, do the best? Because if you just have an idea, I've had people that I just talked to, didn't really get into the program, but gave them some tips. By the end of the, holidays, January, they didn't put on as much weight as they would have normally. Because the goal is just to take a few simple things, doing that, drinking more water, stepping out and walking daily, just small, simple steps, doing protein first, before you have all the other good. You're going to keep yourself from having to work harder in January. Why not do it now? So now is really a great time to get into a fitness, nutrition habits, to start working on those. You're not going to be perfect.
Then you don't feel
perfect.
so guilty eating those big heavy meals either, because you can just get right back on track for what your wellness plan is.
Yeah, because I always tell people, you're not eating that way 24/7.
Right.
You have parties on the weekend, maybe some lunches during the week. It's not all the time. It's more than normal. It's more often than normal. But it doesn't mean every single day is just your shot. I might just blow it today, because if you start thinking that way, you're going to struggle when you really kind of hone in on that goal. Because I would say you're going to have, you can take diet breaks. We always call them like diet breaks. Okay. So you're not doing as much, you're eating a little bit higher. Don't try to decrease so much, because then when you do go, if you starve yourself all week and then you go on the weekend and you're eating these big meals, you're literally going to probably make it worse.
Yeah, you're going to put on that weight.
Yeah.
And just give yourself grace. If you're on a plan, if you have kind of a strict plan or whatever you're doing, and you have, say, a cheat day, well, don't make sure that there's so many people that will say, oh, well, I ate the ice cream today. Oh, I had dessert today. I guess it's just all shot. I'm not going to do it anymore. I'm just totally done. Well, the thing is that you have to love yourself regardless, because if you're not going to give that part of you grace, then how are you going to expect to get to where you want to be?
Yeah. If you have ice cream and you feel that you blew your whole day for that, you didn't. You had ice cream.
Yeah. And just
what are you
start
doing
back
later?
Again the next day.
Yeah.
Give yourself, say, hey,
next meal.
That's just what happens. Yeah. And then you're back to it the next day or whenever.
If you have ice cream for dinner, you just do it the next day. If you have you have a big luncheon, well, what are you going to have for dinner? Have something healthier for dinner. Have a salad with some protein.
Exactly.
So there's always ways. It's not just constantly just gorging everything and shoving everything in your mouth. You have to be more mindful of what you're putting into your body.
Right.
Have a plan. Even if you want to sit down with either one of us and go, okay, well, where should I be? Okay, so let's look at where you are, where you want to go, and kind of go, okay, here's the calories where, kind of where you should be. I mean, it's during the winter time. Sorry, but that's where everybody should be, because that way your metabolism's burning higher. You don't want to be down here trying to diet the whole time and then wonder why you're putting on this weight. You want to be at maintenance so your body's used to that. It's kind of like what I was talking about before. On vacation, don't diet like right before you go on vacation. Your body needs to know, it needs to be adjust to what the calories you're going to have. If you're going to eat 3,000 calories a day when you're gone, I'm not saying you have to do that now. I'm saying, we want to at least
don't
be
go
higher.
from 1,500 to 3,000, because then your body is going to
you're going to put on half a pound a day.
Exactly.
So remember, 3,000 calories is 1 pound loss or gained. So either way. So you always got to just, and that's where we come to the movement. Yeah. You want to get moving. So you're going to be eating. What do you want to do when you're done?
Yes. And, stay for the end of the podcast, because we're going to do a little 5-minute yoga flow just to help you stay grounded and get the blood flowing a little bit for the day and make you feel better.
Yeah. We would encourage you, what we're going to do at the end of this is going to be more for wake up in the morning, maybe you're a little tight and you're just, trying to get great way to get your blood flowing for the day, stretch out those muscles, get you going. And then it's great to do it in the end of the day so that you can prepare yourself for a good
do
night's
it
sleep.
any time of day.
And then, anytime you feel a little bit stressed, it could take you like 5 minutes. It could take you a couple minutes. You do a couple rounds of it and you're good.
Mm-hmm.
But the other thing would be to just start walking after each meal. If you get up in the morning, I see people walking in the mornings early.
So
I get up to go at 5 a.m.
Right,
they're out. And go out and walk, even if you're just going to go out and walk around the block, take your dog out, right? Mm-hmm. Or just walk around the block. And it may not be that far, but it's outside getting some fresh air. You have a lunch. Most everybody has, Mm-hmm. If you get it now, starting to
get your sunshine. That's the vitamin D, right?
Yeah, and that's really important first thing in the morning. That's going to help energize you with the extra vitamin D.
Exactly.
Lunchtime, most everybody has a lunch. Even if it's a small lunch, go out and walk. After dinner, you can walk. So our goal for you, or our challenge, is to get out and walk 10 minutes at least, if not more, every day. And then, and we're starting to move into colder weather, so a lot of people aren't going to want to be outside. So
but bundle up, and that's what I was just thinking. Like, bundle up, go for your little walk, and then when you come back, the house feels so warm and toasty, and then you don't feel like you have to be so cold in the house, and you're moving a little bit better, and you just feel better about yourself because that crisp air too. I think crisp mountain air, it's
amazing, especially if you live here in Colorado. Yeah. It's beautiful. And then another thing is, you bundle up, you're going to warm up pretty quick. Exactly. I usually try not to put too much clothes on. When I go out for a walk, I might be cool for a minute, for the first little bit, but then you start getting hot and then you start taking clothes off. Mm-hmm. Wear light layers, a little bit of layers, maybe a long t-shirt, and a jacket, something that you can take off if you start warming up, but our workouts, we have our workouts online. You can come indoors to my classes. To find ways to exercise indoors, or because if you're not an outdoor cool person, my friend
just work out in my house. I don't really go anywhere to do that. I just do it here, and I'm going to be setting it up on the Essential Wellness Society has now gotten on the school platform SKOOL, and so I'm going to be putting my yoga program on there for people to take advantage of. So that's really exciting. So keep an eye out for that if you want. But with that, movement and being able to manage your stress better, we have some really great oils that can help manage stress too. The Adaptive Blend, the Balance Blend, also citrus oils. This month, Melissa Essential Oil is 20% off, and it is actually from the lemon balm plant. And it is a precious oil because the extraction process is very tedious, and there's low yield when it comes to the plant. So 20% off is truly a gift. Lemon balm is really good for depression. It's really great for the immune system. It's good for cold sores. It's good for the skin. So you can just put a little bit on the top of your mouth and on a daily basis. And as your days go on, your mood just starts to get better. It also helps with digestive support. So if you have any questions on that or want to get your Melissa oil for this month before the discount goes away, because you're going to want to get it right now, let me know. I would love to help you because it really is a calming. I had it in my tea this morning. I'm feeling good.
Yeah. All right. So I want to talk a little bit about the foods, and then we're almost close to wrapping it up. We're going to show you this. So we're going to tell you a little bit about foods.
Yeah, seasonal items for this month. You're going to have apples, artichokes, beets, Brussels sprouts, grapes, kiwis, mushrooms, oranges, pears, peppers, plums, pomegranates. Love pomegranates. Over at the store, they had buy one, get two free. Pumpkins, of course, radishes, winter squashes are always great. December, we can talk about that then, but beets, broccoli, Brussels sprouts again. A lot of them are similar because it's the colder months. Lemons, the citrus is going to be in season. You're going to see oranges and lemons a lot more. Spinaches and sweet potatoes. So all the root vegetables and citrus, and those are really good for
get them and grill them up.
Your immune system. Exactly.
I like grilling. Well, and like Jeff says, that's not grilling because that's not on the grill. It's in the oven. It's the same thing. Right. So anyway, we bake them. Sheet pan meals. I made one the other day, and it was just I just buy the bag of mixed vegetable, veggies, broccoli, carrots, and I love carrots. That's like my favorite thing to grill up, or to bake. So I like them like that, and I'll just sit there and just munch off on them. Nice. And you're just mixing them. Throw a little bit of olive oil in. Mix it all up and put some seasoning. I like using garlic, a little bit of salt and pepper. And then you can add in, I had taken, it was Italian, I think it was an Italian dressing, and I marinated some chicken, and then I just put the chicken on there, and then I threw it all in the oven and baked it. And
nice. Another really great meal that you can create is called khichdi. And it's an Ayurvedic Indian recipe, which is really balancing and cleansing. So it balances the body in all different kind of ways. It's mung beans or lentils and basmati rice. And then you
I tried making it once.
Yeah, it can be a little bit tricky, but you just cover it with enough broth or water, simmer it for like 10 or 15 minutes. And you can even make it the night before if you wanted, or soak the beans and the rice the night before, and then it'll cook faster. I think that messed me up, as I didn't do the beans well. Right, yeah, because it absorbs a lot of water, but then when it's almost done, add in all the vegetables that you want, like the broccoli, the sweet potatoes, the spinach, the kale, and then you just mix all that together, and then you add cumin and ginger and your spices. Cumin is a very balancing spice. Turmeric would be really good.
So that would be a really good,
and your pepper and a little bit of salt.
Try that one again.
Yes, the khichdi is a very balancing, healthy comfort food for the wintertime.
Yeah. So start thinking of those kind of foods that you can actually make that are healthy, they're good, and they're very hearty and filling, and they're good for you.
So yeah, we want to make sure that you're doing your daily practices. Take your gratitude, and don't take your gratitude for granted. Make sure that you are being grateful for those things, even the hard things, your 10-minute walks.
Yep.
Let us know what you're doing. And, if you need an accountability partners, we'll respond. We're here for you. So definitely let us know what your gratitude list is. Post it on our pages and
read it over, put them on Post-it notes. But, if you think of something that you're grateful for, any blessings in your life, I always say, put them, on your mirror in the morning. Yes. So when you wake up, you're saying it, because you manifest so much. When I'm sitting here staring at our vision board, it's right over here. When we do vision boards, it's amazing how those things will start to happen. And it's because we start allowing them to happen. We start making them happen. When you look at what you want, you start going, oh, that's what I need. They're reminders. It really is. It's reminders. So ultimately, our brain is amazing at what it will take in. And remember, like I said, a lot of times we're doing things subconsciously without even realizing it. When we see, like they tell you, reading your affirmations and doing that sounds weird sometimes when you say them out loud, but that means your mind is going to actually, you're putting it into, you're putting it in, and you're not putting in the negative thoughts, because the negative thoughts will make you go one way, positive thoughts will make you go the other way. It's kind of which way do you want to go. Yeah. Do you want to have more positive in your life or more negative? Because we can have negative all day long. That's easy. It's being more positive that's more joyful.
So if you find yourself in that hole, that's hard to dig yourself out, even if somebody's throwing you a rope, just find that little grain of gratitude and work on that and continue to grow it and manifest a good mindset.
And all of a sudden you're going to be like, oh, no, things aren't so bad.
Yes, it's not so bad.
People don't piss you off so much.
Right. And then we don't have to say, oh, I don't have it as bad as this person. I don't have it as bad as this person.
That's always
that can be a kind of a downer.
Yeah, because I think when you start comparing yourself, it's the worst thing you can do is compare yourself to somebody else, regardless of what it is. It's what life they have. I just heard something recently where, I think of how to do it without people, but people won't see this. No. But anyways, somebody did something, got something, and somebody else in another side of family saw that and said, well, that makes my life look more shitty. And I was like, it's a horrible way to think it. You don't know this person's journey, or, this person doesn't know this person's journey. They don't know. You don't know what people are going through to get where they're at, to do the things that are, like they always say, you don't know the backstory. Like people will think, oh, they were successful overnight. No, they weren't. People are never successful overnight. You don't know all, the what they went through and the stories. So you can't always look at somebody when you see them on TV or see them on TikTok. being TikTok famous, kids think that that's just like, I'm just going to be TikTok. Do you know how rare that is to make money or to be YouTube famous? All of that stuff. And people will think, I just want to do that. No, it's not that easy. So you have to take your journey and just keep going towards your what you desire to have, and be grateful for the journey that you go on, because really that's what's going to make you grow. It's not, looking at somebody else and wanting to skip this whole part and be from here to here. They forget about the middle part. And that's where, like, they always talk about the dash, from being born to when you die. That what did you do with that dash?
Oh, yeah, that's a good thought. Let's journal on that.
A good one. So, anyways,
all right, we're going to do the quick yoga flow, and then we're going to conclude.
Yeah, things simple you can do at home any time of the day.
Okay, so first we were talking about being grounded. Can you hand me that essential oil? And we talked about balance oil. So if you have an essential oil that you love, just put some in your hand. This is the Balance Grounding Blend. It's a really lovely blend. Put some oil in your hand. Breathe it in. Rub it on your neck. Hands on your knees. Close your eyes. You can sit on a bolster if you want, so you can just have your hips up a little higher if it's more comfortable. You can even be in your chair. So a couple deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. Just center yourself. Allow your body to relax into your foundation as if you have roots growing into the earth and grounding you to the earth. And also allowing the power of the earth to energize you, to work through your body in a way that will enhance your day and keep the flow in a positive way. Now we'll just do a couple different motions. You're going to get on your hands and knees and then move into a child's pose. So your toes are going to be together, your knees kind of apart. You're going to reach your hands all the way forward and your forehead down to the floor. This helps stretch the low back, calm the nervous system. And if your knees are tight, you can always put a pillow between your thighs and your calves in order to give you some support there. Then come back up and you're going to put your weight on your hands and your feet and all the way into a downward facing dog. So your hips are going to be up towards the ceiling and you can walk the dog. Knees are going to be bending one at a time, pressing into your fingers and the palms of your hands so the weight isn't into the wrist. So just relaxing your back a little bit and stretching the back of the legs. And then we're going to go into kind of a high plank, high push-up position. You can put your knees down and then your chest down to the floor and slide your body forward. And then just come up to either a Sphinx pose where your arms are directly under your shoulders and your palms are on the floor. And you're pressing your back, your chest open, opening up the back. Or you can come up into a cobra pose where your hands are directly under your shoulders and you press to open up your abdominals, your chest, and your low back. Inhale into that and then back down nice and slow. And then we're going to move back into our child's pose. We're going to do that a few times. So once you take a deep breath into child's pose, move back into your downward facing dog. Exhale. Inhale back into your high plank. Exhale all the way down to the floor. And then roll forward into your cobra pose. Inhale. Exhale back down to the floor. Back into your child's pose. And then back up, inhale, and exhale to your downward facing dog. And exhale all the way down to the floor again and into your cobra. Rolling yourself back. And then press back into your child's pose. One more time, onto your hands and knees. All the way up to a high plank, down to the floor. Push into a cobra pose. I got that one backwards. Press into your downward facing dog. Exhale. And back down to the knees. And child's pose. And come up with your hands on your thighs. Nice and relaxed. Take some deep breaths. Now you should be ready for your day or whatever you're going to be doing. And I hope you enjoyed that. Do it as many times as you like, as many times a day as you need. And we look forward to hearing from you.
We'll see you next month.
All right. Love you guys. Bye.
Bye. Everything. Oops, I don't know why it's doing that.
Did you hit record?
Oh, you know what? All right. Now we're on. I think I forgot. Don't worry about it. We're over here.